Ram presents The Canadian Tradition.
Well, on this week's episode, we've got the Lund hooked up and we're heading up to Beauchene Wilderness Lodge. Beauchene is a place that I've heard just a lot about, whether that be other magazine articles, other shows up here, and finally I decided to pull the trigger and make my first trip to Beauchene Wilderness Lodge.
The Canadian Tradition is brought to you by Ram, built to serve. Cabela's, world's foremost outfitter. Under Armour, go where you don't belong. Polaris, the world leader in off-road. Steel, get the job done. Winchester, the American legend. Leupold, be relentless. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Lund Boats, the ultimate fishing experience. WeatherTech, nothing protects like WeatherTech. And by Ducks Unlimited Canada, our wetlands, our future.
On this week's episode, I thoroughly enjoy fishing, whether I'm solo, but one of the things that really makes a fun trip is to have some good camaraderie in the boat. On this week, we've got Mike Dean of BoaterExam.com joining me up here for some fantastic smallmouth bass fishing and hopefully some walleye fishing.
I'm Mike Dean with Fresh Air Educators. I grew up hunting and fishing with my dad. Fresh Air Educators is an online education platform. We have a variety of products, our main one being BoaterExam.com. We also have HunterCourse.com, ATVCourse.com, SnowmobileCourse.com, DroneCourse.com, and we're constantly developing and launching new courses in as many different states and provinces as possible.
When I said, hey Mike, do you want to come up here for a fishing episode? He said, Taylor, let's put 10 bucks on the line and hey, this friendly competition is about to start. Well, I'm pretty fortunate. I've had an incredible opportunity to travel across Canada and really see little slices of heaven right across our great country. Pulling into Beauchene, that feeling of a little oasis is already there. Hey, Tony.
Taylor, nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to finally put a face to the name.
Well, same here.
This is my friend Mike Dean.
How you doing?
Mike, it's a pleasure.
Good to meet you.
Guys, welcome to Beauchene.
Yeah, thank you. I've heard so much about this property and what you guys have to offer, and I finally said to Mike, let's go and experience.
Well, trust me, we're not going to disappoint you.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it.
Come on in, guys. I'll give you a bit of a few hints.
Perfect. We went through the orientation with Tony.
During our orientation, Tony was great. He went over all the local hazards in the area.
So we're not going to fish this in a day then?
You're not. Probably not in a week.
Seeing how caring he was, how excited he was to provide a great adventure to not just us, but a lot of the other customers that are coming up here this weekend. It was fantastic, and you could tell right away that this trip was starting off on a good note. Both Mike and I were pretty excited to get the Lund in the water and really explore Lac Beauchene. Basically, we're gonna drift in. I am gonna watch the chart here and see how that bottom comes up just while we're drifting over it without the motor on, and then we'll get rigged up and come back. Pretty flat bottom lake, right? You can see that right off the get-go. So you can cut that off. Here's the Havilon. This is extremely sharp. No accidents on the first day.
Yeah, really, eh?
See, there's a fish right there. One of the things that I really come to rely on over the last, probably 10 years is having a good quality electronic on my boat. It really does become your eyes underwater. It lets you know what that structure looks like, what those rock piles look like, where those fish are holding. That first night fishing Beauchêne, that was our scouting mission, and my eyes were glued to that graph, just looking for those subtle differences that could hold fish. We checked in, it was bluebird skies, the sun was out. I mean, it was just a fantastic early fall day. And within hours of getting that boat in the water, a storm system rolled through. Both Mike and I had to don the rain gear, which you carry in the boat every trip. You might not use it, but you go back to that philosophy that I'd rather be looking at it than looking for it. All right, Mike, last time you and I fished together.
Oh boy.
Northern Manitoba. You came out on a caribou hunt and there's one. So happily watched me catch so many lake trout.
I think I tried to steal your lure at one point, but
What do you say, 10 bucks?
deal.
Hey man, let's do it. Come on, something, eat it. Nice, Mike.
Feels like a smallie.
Is it a smallie or?
Ready?
Yeah. There you go, man. That could be a $10 fish right there. Nice dark colors on them, eh? Gray bellies,
Yeah.
classic northern fish. That's a beauty smallie. We did get into some great fishing.
It turned out to be a great evening. We got into some smallies. It turned out to be a really great evening fish.
Yeah, baby. Look at
Look at that
there.
guy.
Beauty smallmouth right there. Gorgeous colors on him.
Great
Right
job.
on, man. All right, now we're putting the pattern together. There he goes.
Great job, man.
Yes.
Fish.
Nice. Oh, that's a nice one, dude. Oh, look at that jump right there. There you go.
Nice.
Nice small
That
there,
guy.
Mike. Beauty. There's 19. I'll take that.
Beauty fish.
Right on, man. Good job, Mike.
Hey. It's a fish.
Nice, Mike.
Are you kidding me?
Look at that. Did you see it? He must have skipped for 15 feet along the top there.
You ready?
Yeah, man. Look at that.
Another great one.
Look at that Beauchene smallie right there.
Look at the marks on this side of them.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Thank you, sir. Got him.
Gorgeous coloring on them, eh? Just
Oh, yeah.
true northern smallmouth right there.
Oh, there he goes. Straight to the bottom.
Ending up that first night, I think we got maybe a half a dozen fish, and it was, I would call it a successful scouting mission.
There's a fish. Oh.
Dude, I am quickly becoming your net man, and I have no problem doing that. There we go. Oh, he's a fat one. That's why he didn't have too many head shakes. Man, they're just like cookie cutters right there, clones. Beauty, man. All right, I know this is a hard time to end it just because you're up, I think, 3 fish on me, Mike, and I don't want you to think I'm throwing in the towel, but I do think we should get back and really explore what Beauchene has to offer tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's a fish. Oh, just had another bite.
Oh, same.
There's one right on bottom. Come on. It didn't take Mike and I really that long to realize that these fish are suffering from lockjaw due to the storm system moving in. We're throwing everything at these fish, but it seemed like the only bites we were getting is when we literally put that bait within inches of a fish's face before he would actually commit to the hit. Beauty. One of the things that I do enjoy when I get the opportunity to spend some time in the field with one of my partners It's just the ability to learn.
Being out on the water for 8 to 10 hours a day, it really gave Taylor and I a chance to talk about different safety tips and different things that I've experienced over the years.
One of the things that Mike and I came on is, do you know how difficult it is to put a life jacket on when you're in the water?
One thing, in the shoulder seasons especially, the air temperature might still be warm, but the water temperature is really cold.
You know, it was a nice sunny day, so we decided to really put on a demonstration, and Mike was going to walk me through just the basics of how important it is to always be safe and always be mindful.
And it really is difficult to put your life jacket on while you're treading water.
One of the conversations that always comes up is obviously life jackets. Some people always wear them, and that's one of the staples that we try to do on the show. And some people's, you see them clipped to the back of the seat, underneath the bow, underneath the stern. Difficult position to get to them if you needed them. All right, well, without putting it off any longer.
Thank you for volunteering for this.
So this will mimic like a hook set. Setting the hook and kind of, it is cold.
So as you can see, he's already breathing heavy. Cold water shock. You gotta catch your breath. You gotta make sure to get your breathing under control, be in the right mindset. There's so many compartments in these fishing boats. Taylor, where do you keep your life jackets?
I think it's in the left rod locker.
I found one. Taylor, I'm gonna throw your life jacket. Now you'll see, he's treading water, he can't touch bottom. The life jacket's staying on top of the surface. He's gotta undo the buckles. All of this is valuable time that he's wasting. You can notice he's starting to breathe heavy. Now he's been able to get on his back.
Oh, even that is so much better. I don't think I'd want to do that in November.
Gonna throw it nice and far. And gently tow him back to the boat.
Dude, thanks, man.
We'll have to rescue your shoes another time.
Woo!
So, as you can see, he's out of breath. This is a controlled environment in early September.
Regardless of whether you fish this lake 100 times, I've been fishing it my whole life, things can happen and you have to be prepared.
There's one.
Oh yeah, beauty. Get him in the net. Got him?
Got him.
Nice. Look at the dark coloring on him. Gorgeous fish. Great fish.
There's one.
There's other ones down there swimming around them. Another gorgeous Beauchêne smallmouth. Fantastic. Nice. Coming into this evening's fish, we thought that we were going to do a little bit better. Now we've got, call it 2 times out on this lake, found some structure, found where those fish were going to be, and we decided to pick up some leeches and some worms. Talking to Tony, he said, hey, that seems to be the staple, go-to, rely on bait up here. So we did pick that up. I'm up for anything that works, and we headed down the lake with some high hopes that we're going to get into some walleye.
Eventually we caved, we switched over to the leeches and the worms, and we had some success.
After we finished up those boating safety tips, Mike had to take off, which was unfortunate, but I had one more evening to experience what Lac Beauchene had to offer. And knowing that we had some key waypoints, I was excited to make that run down the lake and try to put some big fish in the boat.
Fish. Nice smallie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, snap out.
Beautiful.
Nice way to start the evening right there.
Gorgeous. Beauchene smallie right there. Put that fish right back.
So basically what I'm doing is that fluorocarbon leader that I had definitely had some nicks in it. So when you're tying it onto the main line, since you're trolling a leech in a spinning blade, your line's going to twist. So when you go to connect that to your main line, you always want to be sure to have some sort of a swivel, which is going to basically stop twisting your entire spool upon every retrieve. So I've got 2 of these bullet weights, and I'm going to improvise here, adapt and overcome the situation, and slide those bullet weights right up to the top. Now I am going to peg those to hold them in place. Basically I'm going to take off these beads and put them on mine in the way that they came. It's just that subtle movement of the blade slowly circulating. That's what gets those fish their attention. And I basically want those weights as far away from my hook and that little blade. Probably gonna run about, 14 inches. Take the toothpick, shove it up in the back of that bullet weight, break it off, take the other end of the toothpick, push it up as hard as you can. There, those weights stay stationary on your line. Put the leech on there. Oh, there's one right there. Feel those head shakes on those smallies. Just as easy as that, folks, right there. There we go. Take some time and retie. Get a beautiful smallmouth bass. Small little scrappy guy. Just amazing. You still grab those most of those smallmouth. These fish are just picking up bait off the bottom, eating crayfish, and you can feel the muscular jaws, even though that's probably a 2-pound fish. Put this guy back. Ooh. Tell you, it's hard to concentrate on those walleye when these smallies are on the bite right now. Tell you, we're here for walleye. This is what we plan to target up here, but I cannot go past smallmouth bass fishing like this. This is just fantastic. Beautiful spot. We're gonna have a fantastic sunset, and if we get into the walleye, great. If we catch more of these fish, then so be it. I'm happy. Just want to run your fingers every once in a while to make sure there's no little gouges in that fluorocarbon.
It didn't take too long to realize that, hey, we were on fish. We put a bit of a pattern together, a little back troll, which I just absolutely love working at Taylor because you just have that boat control. We were able to really hover that boat right on those contour lines, get over top of that structure, get on those fish, and it just seemed like it was one of those nights that everything seemed to work.
There's one. Come on, what do we got? What do we got, Mr. Walter? We will take you, sir. You're a very nice addition to our evening. He was the one we initially came out for tonight, but the smallmouth bass have just been fantastic. Look at that. Oh! It's quitting time anyways. Walleye win, fair and square. The smallmouth provided us a fun evening. Let's head her home.
Looking back on the last couple days, I think this trip has definitely exceeded what I was hoping for on the way in. And dealing with some particular challenges, those storm fronts, fishing a lake that neither of us have been on, I get excited about this because it's like putting a puzzle together. You start lining up those pieces, finding out those structure points, finding those fish, fine-tuning the baits you're using, then finally, the last night of the trip, Lac Beauchene really opens up and shows us what this lake has to offer. Sad to say that we do have to leave, but I'm excited for my next trip back because I have those waypoints. I can see what that puzzle is starting to look like, and the more times you come back to a place, the picture suddenly becomes clear.
The Canadian tradition has been brought to you by Ram. Built to serve. Cabela's, world's foremost outfitter. Under Armour, go where you don't belong. Polaris, the world leader in off-road. Steel, get the job done. Winchester, the American legend. Leupold, be relentless. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Lund Boats, the ultimate fishing experience. WeatherTech, nothing protects like WeatherTech. And by Ducks Unlimited Canada, our wetlands, our future.
Follow The Canadian Tradition on Facebook and make sure to visit thecanadiantradition.com for news, contests, and show recipes.